The Indian conspiracy. Now, this is something I've not told either of you about, so I haven't explained it. So this might... I can already see your face.
There were rats running around. Look, there's a rat there.
So this is Indian street food that we'll be talking about today. And it's appreciated the world over. Even non-humans appreciate Indian street food. I'll get this a bit bigger so people can see it. There's rats everywhere.
Are you going to tell me this isn't real?
No, this is real. We're not going to tell you India's not real.
No. Not that India's not real. That this is a setup.
No.
Right? I was expecting you to be like, yeah, this is just a way of freaking out the foreigners or something.
No, it turns out India's a real place and it's quite bad. It's got some real downsides. I mean, there's a reason that their average salaries are so low. It's because they're bloody poor.
Well, yeah, but like, you can be poor and not have rats eating your food.
You can. Not this family, though. Different problems. So this is a guy making God knows what. And yeah, Indian street food has got a bit of a reputation internationally. And I think this is another case of, remember when we talked about the ceiling bird?
Yeah.
So this is the smoke detector in Black American households. No one knew about that, and then the internet happened. And then everyone started noticing that certain internet users had a ceiling bird and others didn't. Well, I think the whole world has now discovered that a certain country is a bit mental when it comes to food hygiene.
Yeah.
And of course, this is one example, but it goes on. I mean, this one's quite funny. This is Indian ice cream from one vendor. He's working hard. Yeah. Throwing ice in a... I have no idea what that is.
Barrel to compact it.
Some guy reacting. Does this not fill you with confidence?
Do you think that thing's ever been cleaned?
So there's ice on the inside, so he's now taking fruit, shoving it on the outside. And...
I think they've washed their hands.
No, he's going to use his hand to do that. Very happy about it. Not the greatest example.
How does this come out as ice cream?
Well, he's going to finish it in a minute there.
Yeah, I love it. Gloves aren't illegal in this place.
You cut the fruit off after it's formed, and then you give it to someone like that. So there we are. Obviously.
Yeah, I agree with that guy totally.
Don't do that. I mean, there's other people discussing whether or not the hands add flavor to the food.
Would you eat this, Jess?
No.
Yeah.
Why not? Go on, explain yourself.
I'm like the pickiest eater there is. Like I can barely have toast. My dream meal is a ham and cheese sandwich.
Good sandwich.
And anything like this is just too far. But you know what? The 5-second rule, I'd extend it to the 10-second rule, and this goes beyond what I'd accept.
10 seconds of hand rubbing, and then
yeah,
it's kosher. I thought you were going to go a different direction though. I thought you were going to be like, well, I don't like Brussels sprouts, so finger canals, maybe a bit worse. So, but anyway, point being, Indian street food, yeah, it's not the cleanest in the world. And I had a bit of an example of this in Afghanistan, where we saw the street food there, and
just a quick aside, it's cracking me up the ethnicities that are mocking the Indians.
Yes,
it's like, sorry, I wouldn't eat any Asian food either. I certainly wouldn't eat anything from Africa. So like.
That is indeed your position, and that's the funny thing, because of course, like, this is a real problem. It's not made up, and the internet existing means that now everyone knows, which doesn't just include Westerners, of course, because the internet's everywhere.
These are funny parodies, though. These are great.
So as you can see, some Indians and Africans making fun of that, and it just sort of blew up. So you can see Africans here making fun of it.
Yeah.
So these are some Kenyans making fun of Indian street food, where they're just throwing slop on slop with their hands. Throwing in water for no reason. Yes, wipe your face. No. Okay, good bants. Good bants, boys. And as you can see, Drutka here has made like a compilation. So there's even more here. Indian sounds to non-speakers, in which it's... That's enough. But that's Africans making fun of Indians there.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on. I mean, this is some guy's TikTok of his first day in India. There's some street food there. And the African chap is not best impressed.
Yeah. Understandable.
Still a picky eater?
Getting pickier by the moment, I imagine.
What compels them to do that? Like, surely they know about germ theory and...
I don't know if it's... maybe they just have massively strong immune systems.
Well, they must have. Like, immune system like a bloody crocodile. to be able to survive this. But like, I'm coming to the point. Notice how hurried they are when they're doing it. They're like, no, got to get it done. So we've got like 2 billion people to feed. So no, it doesn't matter. Just slop. Look, there are 500,000 people who are coming to my vendor. That's got to be it.
When you've got that many potential customers,
you just got to hurry up. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I thought I'd announce that we have a new line of merch. This is our aesthetics collection. So I was thinking that in the face of AI art debasing the very concept of art, actually we'd do something quite positive. So we commissioned a series of paintings that were actually really beautiful and could be something that we could present outside of politics. So for example, we have this magnificent painting of a ship weathering a storm, which I thought was just really nice. And we have, of course, a glorious, sort of surrealist, giant white tiger drinking from a lake. But also there are other things that are just kind of interesting, such as the chap lost in cyberspace, or something that I thought might, in time for Christmas, make a great present for your mum or something like that. A beautiful cat lounging on some clouds. Basically, we wanted to do some stuff that wasn't just political. So things that were just nice and beautiful and interesting, because that's also a part of the world we want to curate. So you can go over to shop.lotuses.com. Buying the merch is a really great way of supporting us and means that we can live past demonetization. And I'm sure they make great gifts for the folks as well.
Maybe you don't need to. There's also this guy who's joking, where he's making some African street food here compared to Indian street food. And let's see which one we prefer, I suppose. So you can see here, he's got some bread. And then...
The knife looks clean. I don't see any rats, and he's wearing gloves. Okay, I'm sorry.
Is that all you need to see?
That's literally all I need to see. But I'm not a very picky eater, to be honest.
No, he's having something there. His sausage wrap.
This looks perfectly respectable.
Yeah. Sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce. Oh, that's a bit far. Calm down.
Yeah, now it's extravagant. Okay, fine.
Looking a bit ethnic for me. Got napkins?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
How do you do that?
I don't know where this is going for the Indian food, where it's going to be in a minute. Or is he's literally just showing off, actually. Never mind. His entire TikTok is just, look at me make food.
We have invented hygiene.
So, I mean, this is a thing, is what I'm trying to prove there. So that I don't think any Indian could say this doesn't exist or some such.
I've seen far too many videos for it to not be a thing.
But what's funny is you may have noticed, though, the African stuff, that's very recent. And so did a lot of Indians notice that very recently a lot of Africans were making fun of them in this particular way.
Bloody bastard.
So, yes, bloody. They've got suspicions. So, there you are. Even Africa is making fun of Indian street food. There's another one here. Yeah. He's got his leg in the... No reason. Which, yeah, good bands. But here's the Indians.
Sorry.
What?
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
I like the flavor. What do you... White...
Oh, Jesus.
John just said he's seen an Indian do that. Okay. I just reminded of that meme. It was like, white people don't season their food. But either way.
I did used to live with an Indian guy, and he would never use cutlery.
He used his hands?
Yeah, just uses his fingers every single time. And I was just like, I mean, I didn't, it didn't seem excessively gross because it's your own hands, right? So
as long as it's clean.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've eaten food with my own hands. But it was just weird that he would just refuse to use cutlery. Okay.
Not even chopsticks. But either way, yeah, I mean, it's not to be too mean. I mean, slight mean, which is sort yourselves out. But yeah, problem that is funny. But the Indians took this in a different way. So this guy says, my entire TikTok algorithm these days has suddenly become videos of people from Kenya making fun of Indian street food. Some kind of psychological warfare against India is happening.
China's like, right, we've won in the West. They're all degenerate. Now we need to destroy the Indians.
Yeah. So which do we think is most likely? That maybe the domestic production of food is actually a bit unhygienic, or it's a mass Chinese psyop?
Honestly, I'm kind of 50-50.
Really?
Oh yeah, I believe the Chinese have got wacky psyops.
I don't think they even have to try that hard for this one. I think this is a naturally occurring circumstance.
50-50.
But if this was just one guy, I mean, he's right for the intercept there. He, I I would always say like someone literate shouldn't be this conspiratorial, but whatever. He's not the only one, because this went off. You can see on Reddit here. This blew up on an Indian show in which they're saying, "I've been noticing of late."
Say it in an Indian accent, please.
I can't do it. I can't do an Indian accent. Bloody. I have been noticing of late.
I'm joking.
Fine, I'll do it in a nice imperialist. That so many big internationally famous handles all of a sudden have started targeting India, and mostly in the same way.
Ooh, Druck's an internationally famous handle.
Yeah, good boy. This doesn't look very normal or casually made post. What do you think can be the reason? And then Dushishahay over there, which, yep. Yeah, I don't think it's a conspiracy, but the Indians do. So we've got this to deal with now. As Drucker says, some Indians now believe there's a secret coordinated attack on India's international reputation.
How do I join it?
Well, you go to India with a smartphone and you film.
Okay.
Jess, what about you? You up for it?
I'd take the task.
Can we
the
get you to do some
mission.
vox pops?
Vox
I would actually think that'd be brilliant.
How many seconds should you wash your hands?
How many times a day?
Before or after making the food? Will you be up for that, actually?
I think it could be good
All right.
content.
On the cards. But this isn't the only one. You've got this guy here as well. There's some Pakistani making fun of Indians. So, of course, no, it's a Pakistani conspiracy as well.
Ah, yes.
Lots of Africans are suddenly mocking Indian street food. What could be the reason? India is competing with China for the African market. Superpower by 2020. Is China paying some African influencers to damage India's reputation? No, I really don't think it is. And I think this is another stealing bird. And it's
Pretty cheap conspiracy to buy into, though, right? So you don't have to spend a lot of money to persuade Africans to make mocking TikToks of Indian street food.
well, they work for African prices. Yeah. Maybe we should do that. You know the Fiverr guys?
Yeah.
You give them $5.
Yeah.
And then there are loads of Africans that signed up to that because that's like, 2 years' salary.
Yeah.
So maybe we should. Maybe it could be a British psyop against the Indians to destroy their reputation. But I suppose doing it already. But this did remind me, this whole scenario, of something a bit more spicy. So this is, Black versus Indian Twitter, but Black Twitter here being African this time round.
Right, so African Twitter.
Yes.
Black Twitter implies American Twitter.
But do you know the battle of Black Twitter versus Indian Twitter?
No, I'm not very well connected to either, to be honest.
There was a deadly battle back in the day. It was awful for all involved, and we dare not speak of it if we can, for those who know. And what happened is that an African American did one tweet where they had some Indians in a nightclub and it's very overcrowded, and someone saying, "This is great." And this African American chap responded, "I know it smell crazy in there."
Oh, yeah.
This got 23,000 quote tweets. 90% of them from Indian accounts. And it sort of went a bit like this, where by the end of it, there was a full-blown race war going on. And I've had to censor an example of one of those quote tweets that became the most famous, with a few ADL logos for the obvious reason. So this is Pongo, a lovely Indian lady.
Jesus Christ!
Do I even want to read any of that?
No.
Jess, you can read. Yeah, this was bad, to say the least.
You are, whatever, Indian army will kill you, whatever, by the bushel.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, no. What that means is we're going to kill lots and lots of you.
Okay, but by the bushel? Who uses that phrase?
Probably a 19th century British colonizer. Okay? All I'm saying is liberalism didn't take hold in these places.
Yeah, it really, really did not.
I'm kind of curious what the last word is.
It's the same as the first one I've had to censor. So that first letter might give you a hint.
Jesus.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is not unrepresentative of the quote tweets.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when this happened and people still talk about it because it's just such a funny moment. It's like, can you not take a bit of banter about your country? No, they did not at the time. And I don't know what the response will be to this, except more conspiracy theorizing about how China is trying to get one over. But I suppose we'll find out. But I'll end this off because I do worry if you do take up the offer of going to India, then you may end up like someone else because there were some Westerners who ran into a different sort of meme. interaction, which is this image.
Yeah, I've seen this.
So this is I Hypocrite. So this is Matteo and Lisana, this couple that go traveling together and make travel videos. 1.7 million views. I beg you to get me out of here, India, with her crying on the thumbnail there. 30 minutes. They ended up deleting this video because of the response. Similar quote tweets, it turns out.
I've seen a few videos of Western travelers talking about their experiences in India, and they're like, yeah, I'm not going back.
You know what's really weird in Afghanistan is there's the weird hierarchy that you would not expect, because you think, okay, India, pretty reasonable power for all the, low salaries and whatnot. And you got Pakistan. I mean, recently they've gone right into being a disaster zone, the floods and everything. But then you've got Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is that place that's been at war for 20 odd years. People die every day, there's bombs, there's ISIS, blah, blah, blah. And I noticed in Afghanistan, they make jokes about Pakistan and India. They think they're better than both of them. You know how we think we're better than the French?
We are better than the French.
True. But they literally sit around going, oh, God, at least I'm not Pakistani.
Well, tell me about the Afghan street food.
Similar looks, but then again, I didn't see anyone using their hands to season it or anything like that.
What about a foot?
The foot? No foots.
Not a single armpit.
Yeah. I mean, I had some, and I didn't get the problem. So, yeah, Afghans, maybe they are better, actually. Maybe they're right. But either way, madness, to say the least. I thought I'd just mention what happened to that video in question. It's someone saved it. It's literally just 30 minutes of her crying in between footage of where they went. It doesn't look that bad to me. She didn't seem to like it. It's just an average place, which, it isn't the cleanest. It's a bit chaotic. I mean, if you're going to go traveling to India, I don't know what you're expecting exactly.
I've watched the video the other day of this guy who went to India, and he was like, yeah, so it was disgusting. I saw some dead bodies. I saw some disgusting stuff. So I decided to go to the beach, and I found a really secluded area of the beach. It was just me on the beach. I was like, right, okay, finally I can just relax and enjoy the sun. And he was there for like 20 minutes before some guy just came shuffling along from beyond the rocks, went out to the sea and just pulled down his pants and and he's just like, how did he find me to go and take a dump in front of me?
Walk directly in front and do it. And
it's just like, I'm just okay, bro.
I can't comprehend doing that.
No.
I don't know how it
works. I can't imagine just going out onto the surf and just, right, okay, here I am. Anyway, what do I know?
Boy. But anyway, I haven't been to India. I'm sure it's lovely, but it is a different place, to say the least. And I don't know what the response will be to this newest Black Twitter versus Indian Twitter war. But we'll find out, I guess. I hope it's not like the last two. But either way, maybe it's a conspiracy. If you appreciated that episode from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as the Symposium series, this episode on Antigone. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.